Hello, MGTOW. Hello, men. This is Howard Dare. Thanks for stopping by. So, I want to talk about why MGTOW is so important. It really is. But before I get into it, I haven't been around for about 2, 3 weeks, and I want to, tell you, what happened. It's a real interesting story, and it ties in with, what I'm talking about. It's very interesting because I, Howard Dare, need to speak to people. Uh, it's in a way you'd think it was a problem. You know what I mean? Like I have all these thoughts on these subjects, and I need to get them out. Is what it comes down to. But I was really sick there for a while, and I couldn't do anything. I couldn't speak. I didn't have my voice. It was terrible. See, here's the thing: we men, uh, just just decent people within Western civilization who want to build a good life for themselves, right? So it's not even like just men. It's not even like that. We are engaged in a very, very serious culture war. And it's so serious that millions upon millions of people will lose their lives. Now, I don't necessarily mean physically, although that could happen too. No, I'm talking about the meaning and the purpose of their lives. I'm talking about their involvement in their own lives. And it is our own culture that is tearing us away from the values, from the worldview, from the habits and the behavior that can sustain us through life. Now, MGTOW, whether you realize it or not, it encompasses a great deal. It encompasses a lot. Um, and there's many different aspects going on here, right? We've got red pill rage, we've got um, anger at the women, we've got red pill guys trying to get laid, and very upset and disappointed that it's not happening, right? Of course, the men are upset, right? Um, and we've got a deeper philosophical issue going on here, and this is, of course, where I, Howard Dare, like to speak to. Okay, this is my area that I like to talk about. Um, Let me tell you what happened. Okay, I'll come back. This is intentional. So I was on the streets, right? You're thinking, what the hell, Howard Dare on the streets? Well, the state is after me legally, and I've got these various restrictions on me, and I am not alone. Right? We are destroying men, is what we're doing. Our culture is destroying men because it sees men as a threat. Now, are we talking about all men? Oh, no, not at all. If you're a good consumer and you're part of the group and your entire identity is wrapped up, in your politics and in your social, group, then no, you're okay. You're okay. But if you are a man and you are going your own way, then you are public enemy number one. You are a misogynist. You are toxic. You engage in hate speech. And the truth is that these are just men who want to have a good life, who took in the things that their culture taught them in order to be effective and to be part of the group. They've internalized these values. We have. Are you a good man? Right? So this is internalized. Like nobody has to give you a hard time. You will give yourself a hard time if you don't feel that you are conforming to the ethics and expectations and standards of the group. It's internalized. We do it, we did it to get along because we thought this would lead to a good life. But in truth, what it leads to is dependency and fear. And this is intentional. We are not citizens of our countries, not at all. We are consumers within our countries. This is our value. This is the balance sheet. This is the profit loss sheet. Okay? There's nothing else. That's all that's going on here. Marketing, ideology, politics, money, power. And the values, the habits that you need to adopt to be part of this group and reap the benefits of this consumer culture and consumer society where we are all equal, the price that you have to pay is you have to give up your individuality. I know that sounds like a catchphrase, but it's not. You have to give up your identity. You are not allowed to go your own way. Because if you do, they'll put you in jail. They will arrest you. They will fire you. They will kick you out of the group. They will take down your YouTube channel. They will deplatform you. They will dox you. They'll do anything. And it's important that you understand that the reason why they can behave so poorly and in contrast to freedom of speech and individual liberty is because of crowd psychology, group politics, group identity. And if you were able to have people hooked up to an MRI machine that scans their brain, you would see that when they're making these decisions, these political, social, economic decisions, that the part of the brain that's lighting up has nothing to do with the analysis of the situation. It has to do with their emotions. It has to do with their identity. And the identity is that you are not an individual. You are not a citizen. You are a consumer. And if you behave properly and you go along with the group, you can reap the benefits of this consumer society. And they are vast. They can give you a great job. They can give you plenty of money. They can give you material success. This will, of course, attract the attention of the high market value females, right? So they'll want to get together with, the man or whoever has this level of acceptance and success within society, within the group. But if you do this, you lose your individual identity. That's the price. That's the sacrifice. So every morning you get to come in and say, "What do you need me to do, boss?" He says, "Jump." You say, "How high?" And that's how you get to keep your paycheck. And if you think that the boss likes you and is your friend or is your mentor, you are greatly mistaken. He's the boss, the company is keeping you around because it's profitable to them. And as soon as it's not, or as soon as they can find a better option, they will replace you. So whatever sense of belonging and community and identity you feel in the political party, in the corporation, in the company, in the group, it can be taken away from you, and it will be taken away from you in the blink of an eye. How's that for a future? It's nice to be able to walk, to put one foot in front of the other and place it down on the ground where you know it's solid. That's a nice feeling. To not have that feeling, man, walking becomes really stressful because every step you take, you've got to be worried that the ground is going to fall out from underneath you. So if you want to be part of this culture and this society, you have to give up your identity. You cannot go your own way, and they can change the rules on you when you go to sleep. In other words, you can have one set of rules when you go to sleep at night, and you can wake up in the morning and you've got another set of rules. And you can be like, what the hell? you know, uh, you changed the rules. And they'll be like, no, these are the rules. Are you with the program or not with the program? Are you in the party or not in the party? Okay. And the truthful response is, well, I was in the party when I went to sleep last night, but you changed the party while I was sleeping. And now I guess I'm not in the party. But I'll adopt whatever views, whatever ideas, whatever values, whatever ethics you want me to adopt. And if you put a picture of a big, fat, ugly woman on the screen and you say she's beautiful, I'll say she's beautiful too, because we're not going to disagree. And if the person flying the plane is not qualified to fly the plane, well, you better not say anything, okay? Because diversity. So what does it mean when the person flying the plane does not have to be a qualified pilot, but they do have to be nice and they do have to be friendly and they can't say anything that upsets the group? Wow, that's great, isn't it? Because everybody is so nice and everybody is so friendly and everybody is so accepting. But of course, nobody is qualified. So if you get on the plane or if you get on the bus and the person can't drive the bus, can't fly the plane, but they're really nice, are they your friend? How about a teacher who cannot teach but is nice and friendly? Is that a good teacher? How about a drug counselor who knows nothing about helping people break out of dependency, but they are really nice and they're really friendly and they're very inclusive? That's your culture. This is the war you are engaged in and you cannot escape it. Like, the men say, well, we just go my own way. I'm not going to listen to this bullshit. I don't care about that. But let me ask you this. Let's say you're watching the news, okay? And they're reporting the news and they're giving it to you straight. But the person reporting it is trans. They're homosexual. They're wearing polka dots. And everybody on that news set is also trans, wearing polka dots. But they're giving you the news straight. They're giving you as best they can with their own bias, but not too much. But they're all wearing polka dots. You understand that you're going to feel compelled to wear polka dots now, that everybody is going to feel compelled to wear polka dots. How would you like to have a life where you, growing up, you've got your unique ambitions, your unique drives, the things that make you uniquely? Listen, there has never, ever, ever been in all the history of mankind, of all the human beings that have ever lived, there has never been your particular genetic makeup. You are unique, truly, and it will never come again. Even if we could clone you, right? No, you'd still have the whole epigenetic situation kicking in. So you are completely and utterly unique. And you knew it when you were a kid. Like nobody needed to tell you what you liked and didn't like. Nobody needed to tell you what you want and didn't want. You knew. But as you got older, your parents said things like, do this, don't do that. Good boys do this. Bad boys get punished. And even if it goes against your natural inclinations, because as I said, you are completely unique. Nobody has ever been like you. Nobody has had your genetic makeup ever. Nobody ever will again. But you're going to have to go along with the group in order to fit in with the group, in order that the group can take care of you and provide for you as a child. And how long does this go on usually? This usually goes on for like 20 years, right? It's an extended childhood. And it has to be because the human is dependent upon, the parents and the group that's taking care of it. It can't survive on its own. So it gives up its unique genetic qualities, the thing that makes it special throughout all of creation. It gives that up. It puts that aside. Maybe it wants to be a famous musician or a famous painter, but the parents, the society around, convinces you that you need to be an accountant or a lawyer. Yeah, what a job there, huh? Uh, so this unique gift that creation has bestowed upon you, that it will never bestow upon anybody else in all of time, squandered, given away. Actually, a source of great discomfort. Wouldn't it be nice to just be part of the group and to just have that nice job and to not have to worry and to have an easy life? See, that's what you're being offered. You're being offered the easy life. I've made this comparison many, many times. What do you want? Because if you want, you can live within the castle walls and your food will be taken care of. There's no danger. You're not going to get attacked by wild animals or anything like that. All you have to do is bow down to the king. That's all you have to do. And this includes like if he likes your wife, he might want that first night with her. Okay. If he doesn't like the business that you're in, he might shut it down and put you in a different business. If he doesn't like that piece of artwork you created, he might put you in jail and you may have to change it. So all you have to do is give up who you are and you can be part of this group. You can be part of the culture. Okay. And this stuff is nasty. This is peer to peer, right? This isn't top down enforcement. This is your own fellow consumers bringing you to task because of what you said on YouTube, right? So YouTube has, a free speech policy for the most part. Not really, but let's say that they do. But then you have individuals working in there that are part of the group, and they're going to shut down your right-wing conservative speech, your traditionalist speech, your tradcon speech, because they're part of that group. And as we, technological, modern Western society, have become more and more advanced, the requirement for this submission is stronger. So what you've got is a culture that's trying to strip away individuality from the men, from anybody who wants to be an individual, so that they can be part of the group, so that they don't cause problems, and then they can be taken care of within the group. I would rather die than kowtow to some idiot, okay? If I'm getting on the bus and the bus driver doesn't know how to drive the bus, he's a drunken idiot, okay? I'm not getting on that bus. I don't care how friendly he is. He's not my friend, okay? If the drug counselor sits down across the desk from you and says, "So tell me how you doing," okay? And he's not really qualified to do his job. He's not your friend. He might be friendly. He might be nice. He might give you stuff, but he's not going to do his job and he's not going to be able to help you. And guess what? That's just fine. That's perfect, to be honest with you. That's exactly what the system wanted. What a problem it would be to have qualified people in service jobs. See, understand these are like, I talk about flying the plane and shit like that, right? Now, we're talking about service jobs here for the most part. We're a service economy. So it's not even real. It's real money, but it's not the unique individual that you are finding your place in the world, making your way in the world, sustaining your way in the world, and then having a secure future where you can move forward into the future. No, it's a sycophant who goes along with anybody who's in charge, who has more, who can do them a favor, who can be nice to them, and just going along with them. And you can't really blame young people for adopting this attitude. What else are they going to do? Now look at somebody who's had a really hard life. Somebody who grows up in the ghetto, loses their parents, supporting themselves, dealing with ridiculous violence. How about prison? How about jail? Okay, there's a tough place for you. How about war? There's a tough place for you. Now, do you think that this person wants a free handout? Do you think they want the boss to take care of them? You realize it's a trap, okay? The boss is not going to take care of you. You have to take care of you. You have to build your future. And if you don't, no matter what you have right now, it can all be taken away from you, and you have no security. And this is our culture. And it glorifies this. Think to yourself, what is the height of success? What is success in life? And most people are going to picture, something like a Donald Trump situation, like where they have stuff, material stuff. And to be honest with you, that's not even what people want. It's really not. If you're honest with yourself, the truth is you don't want millions of dollars. What a pain in the neck that would be. All that most people want is to not have any financial worries or concerns. All that people want is to be able to have whatever they want when they want it. Money, power, it's a huge responsibility. People don't want that. So someday you're looking at a government that's willing to give you a free living wage, free food, free housing, free living wage. All you have to do is spend it. That's all you have to do. And you can't save it. You can't build your own business. You can't get a job. I mean, what is welfare right now? Okay. Person's getting $1,500 a month in welfare. Okay. But if they go and they get a job, which I don't know, maybe it'll earn them 1,500, maybe it'll earn them 2,000, whatever, not much. They lose the welfare. So what do? They continue to collect the welfare. All right. Understand that there are men all around the world right now sitting in dark bars and corners and empty rooms. And they're getting older, and their whole lives have been dedicated to serving the boss, getting ahead, impressing the neighbors, being a good citizen, being a good consumer. Okay? And all of the gifts and all of the uniqueness that nature bestowed upon you, you're the only one. and and you will only be the only one forever, and you'll throw it away. And they're realizing this. They're coming to this awareness, and they're saying, my God, I threw my life away. I threw my life away chasing after the approval of other people who I thought were going to give me stuff. And I betrayed my true calling, which, shit, I don't even know what it is anymore. And so they jump up and they're like, I got to turn my life around. I gotta go my own way. I got to be in charge of my own life. I'd rather have a crappy life that I earned than a glorious life that somebody gave to me and now they're holding it over my head and I could lose it at any moment. Understand the fear that is associated with that, the desperation, how unlikely that person is to express their individuality, how important it is for them to not get kicked out of the group. Now, if you're a child, if you're a pregnant woman, it's pretty understandable. If you're a sick elderly, it's kind of understandable, isn't it? But your whole life. So these people, they're jumping up and they're saying, my God, I've got to get back in touch with what makes me me, and I've got to express it. And it doesn't matter if I don't make any money. What matters is that, I'm true to myself. And as they jump up, they say, ow, my back hurts, my leg hurts, my knee hurts. And they go to take a deep breath because they're gonna power through it. And they realize they don't have the spirit anymore, that the spirit of what they were, the unique gift that nature bestowed upon them, is gone. They can't find it. What is it that you loved to do as a child? Did you love to ride bikes? Did you love to tell stories? Did you love to tell jokes? Did you love to run and play? Did you love to collect certain things? Were you fascinated by insects or leaves or cows or trains? Do you remember? And the answer is they don't remember. The spirit is gone. Okay? What I'm saying to you is don't wait that long. Okay? Go your own way. If you don't, you will live a life of fear. That's what it is. You want to get paid? You want to be able to pay your bills? You want to be able to have stuff? You want to be able to impress that girl? That's fear. And what a terrible way to live. And what a soul-crushing way to live. And it's by design. Because we don't want strong men. We don't want smart, capable citizens. We want people who go along and do as they're told. That's why when you go to school, we ring bells and we give you rules. We give you regiment. It's not to make you smart. It's not to make you capable. It's to make you cooperative. And if you're not, we will punish you. And if you are, we will reward you. And now you can spend an entire life seeking those rewards of the group. Tragic, isn't it? Unique lives wasted, thrown away because they want stuff and they're full of fear. Here's the problem, though, right? So you say to yourself, well, it is what it is, Howard. It's what I got to do to get by. The problem is that that there is no ground underneath you, okay? That you're playing this cultural, social game, this group identity game, and you're getting rewarded. Let me tell you what happened and why I was away for so long, a couple weeks, few weeks. So I was on the street because the state is trying to crucify me. I may well be gone, for the rest of my life. And it's getting cold out here, even in Arizona. So I wanted to get indoors. So I got myself into a sober living place. Okay. I don't have a drug problem, but they don't know that. I mean, yeah, sure, I do. Uh, so I got myself into it. It's a nice place too. Uh, but I'm in a room with other people. And these other people, you know what they're doing? That's right. They're using and they're smoking. And I don't mean THC. Okay. So I'm getting exposed to various chemicals. And after like a couple weeks of doing it, I got really sick. I wasn't able to speak properly. I couldn't form words properly. I couldn't chew my food properly. I was coughing up blood. Uh, I couldn't really control my thoughts. I was having minor hallucinations, like I was seeing little wavy patterns, looking around. I wasn't having full blown. Um, and yeah, I realized, no, the people in the room with me are, they're smoking pills and I'm breathing it in every single night. So the idea of coming on here and going live was quite impossible because I couldn't even form my words. So I'm getting better now. Um, and what I want you to kind of understand here is that this is part of the culture war, okay? That they were doing exactly what their culture has taught them to do. And the idea that somebody, would like want to take care of their health, um, not be exposed to, really, really toxic chemicals, it doesn't even occur to them. It's not like they're bad people. Okay. It's not like they're intentionally, doing this horrible, malicious behavior. That's not it. They just don't care. They just don't want to feel bad. Right. That's how desperate it is. It's not even like people want to feel good and have a good time and have a good life. No, we left that way behind in the dust. All that people want now is to not feel bad. So, this is where dependency leads. It leads to suffering. It leads to fear. It leads to cortisol. It leads to sickness. Now, do the reverse. Okay. I don't want to work for you. I hate working for other people. I really do. It's not in my character. It's not in my nature. But I'm probably not going to get paid much. Okay. Yeah. I get paid nothing here on YouTube. Nothing. There is no SEO, that's search engine optimization, assistance for my videos. There is no Google relevancy SEO help for my videos. As a matter of fact, they're shadow banned. And I can't get paid. No advertisements, nothing. And yet I prefer this to being a tool. I'm not here to shill you out to the YouTube advertisers. I'm really not. But that's how we make money. But I don't care about the money. Shit, I don't even care about like the group. I care about the truth. MGTOW is the cutting edge of the culture war, of the degradation of Western civilization. We are at a crossroads, okay? And we're going in a direction that is stripping people of their individuality and their freedom so that they can become happy consumers, so that they can become a number, so that they can get the things that everybody else gets, so that they don't sit there in suffering and pain and fear and depression. But no matter what you give them, it will still come to fear and depression because it's dependency. It's not going your own way. It's not building your own way in life. It's not finding that unique gift that nature bestowed upon you and then bringing it to fruition. Listen, what do you think about Leonardo da Vinci? What do you think about Elon Musk? What do you think about all the great geniuses that we've had throughout the ages? What a shame that the other 99.99999% of us cannot attain that level. What a shame. What a shame that genius and world changing ability is reserved for only a very, very select few. What a shame. Too bad you can't be your own Leonardo da Vinci. Like you can't be Leonardo da Vinci, okay? Only Leonardo da Vinci could be Leonardo da Vinci. And people might try to be like Leonardo da Vinci, but that's not that's them trying to be like him. That's not them being him. Or what they need to do, what you need to do is to be like you. But it has to come to full fruition. And the thing is, nowadays, that's going to take about 50 years. Okay? You need to hold on to your identity, to the things that make you, your values, your beliefs. Why are you angry? Right? Why am I angry? Right? Well, because things are not the way that I think that they should be. Now, that's a very interesting statement. See, I've got a lot to say here today because I haven't been here for, a long time. So thank you, everybody, for stopping by. And I really appreciate it. I hope the sound and the audio is coming through better. Senator Armstrong is here. Yeah, we have senators here, no, in time, we really will. I assure you, MGTOW is the avant-garde, okay, of our social philosophy. We've got people like Jordan Peterson, and we've got, a lot of red pill channels that are coming out now, and they're doing really well, and they're speaking out against wokeism, right? It's not wokeism. It's gynocentrism. It's eternal children, okay? It's taking men and filling them with so much fear that they will never become the unique individual that they are. They will give it up to be part of the group. So even though you've got 6 billion plus people here, and 5 billion of them are actually reasonably well fed, even though you've got that, you don't have 5 billion, you don't have 6 billion individuals. No, 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 no. You've got economic groups. What do you think they're doing with TikTok? What do you think is going on there? Do you think they're there to entertain you? Do you think they're there to amuse you? To give you a diversion? Wow, that's really nice of them, isn't it? That's really decent of them to spend all that money and all that time and all that technology and all that planning just so that, you can enjoy a video. Of course, that's not why they're doing it. They're doing it to collect the data, the psychographic data on you. Now you're saying, oh, no, not me individually, Howard. Yes, you individually. Your name, your social security number, your exact geographic location, your exact clicks, your exact mouse movement. We're analyzing how you move the mouse. That's why they're doing it. To turn you into a commodity, a product, not an individual, not a Leonardo da Vinci who can reshape the world. Wouldn't it be nice if you had that potential? Wouldn't it be nice if I had that potential? Well, it turns out I do, but it is unique to me. I can't go do what Leonardo da Vinci did. I can't do what Elon Musk did. Okay. I don't have, those particular tendencies. My unique genetic combination, which has never existed before and will never exist again. Do you know what I like to do? I like to talk. I like to analyze social situations and talk about them. I loved social studies, you know, in early school. Yeah, I loved it. It was very interesting to me. What about you? It's unique. You know what I mean? There's stuff that you and you alone like. I had a nephew. Well, I have a nephew, and he liked to collect cups when he was a kid. It was funny, just any cups. He didn't care, Dixie cups, whatever. He just wanted to collect cups. I don't know what he's doing nowadays, but wouldn't it be great if he was like in charge of a museum that collected cups from all over the world, and like he had just recently found the Holy Grail, You see what I'm saying? Right? The idea was never to fit in with the group and get the rewards from the group. Although, it's nice. It's nice. The idea was for you to be you, for you to go your own way, for you to be the individual that you are, to discover that, to find a way of sharing that with the world, to mastering the skill set that you need in order to do that effectively, and then to make your mark on the world, to live your life. But we gave it up. We gave it up to be part of the group, to get on the train, to go to the office, to wear the same clothes as everybody else, and then to compare our suit to our coworkers' suit, and then decide which one of us has more status. And both of us are filled with fear, and both of us are kissing the ass of the boss. And because we have this extended childhood, 20-year childhood, we idealize, we fantasize, we pretend that the boss is like our father. The great father? What do you think's going on there? The benevolent spirits? What do you think is going on there? Why? Why are you doing it? We have to do it as children. Okay? We have to idealize our parents. We have to idealize our authority figures. We have to look up to them. Otherwise, we will go our own way. We will defy them, rightly so, too. But then the person grows up, and now they're in the workplace, and now they're meeting women, and they're competing. But they're still idealizing like the child. And you know what? And you do know what? The world isn't like it. It's not like that. The world is not what you think it is. It's what it is. The world is not punishing you. God is not punishing you. I promise you. The universe is largely indifferent. Just stuff happens. That's all. But we don't look at it that way, do we? I know I didn't. No, I looked at it, why? Why, God? Why is the universe doing this to me? Well, you see what I've done, right? You see that I've, what's the word? I've idealized the universe. I've pretended that it's the Father, okay? And it's not. It's just the universe. It's just the events of the day. So we're stuck in this eternal childhood of imagining a world that is filled with like good people and parents and mentors and teachers who want to take care of us and who want to help us and who are friendly and who are nice because they like us. But none of that is true. They're just other people with their own agendas. And stuff happens. Meteors fall out of the sky. Cars go out of control. People trip and fall into bad places. Universe isn't doing anything, doesn't care. And we have a whole culture that's doing this and wants to do this its whole life. And if you do that, you will not even have a life. You will never discover the unique individual that is you. So this is the fight. This is the struggle that we're engaged in, a modern technological society will strip its citizens, its consumers, of their individuality, and will just plug them in to the assembly line. And that's it. That's your life. It's never happened before. It's never going to happen again. And we're just going to throw it away. And we're just going to live in fear. So let's say you kiss the boss's ass and you get a raise, okay? And now you're the highest paid person in the company, right? So, you're important. So now you're buying a brand new BMW M8, right? That's the car that I want. So now you're buying that car. And, you're getting that house, that big house with that big mortgage. And you've acquired yourself that high sexual market value, intimate partner. And you've got your wardrobe. And then the boss calls you into the office one day and says, we're scaling back here a little bit. And you're like, what do you mean, boss? You're the one who owns all of this. You're saying it like it's some sort of corporation or something. And he's like, yeah, well, I talk like that. I'm scaling back. I've decided to take this enterprise in a different direction. We are no longer going to be we are no longer going to be needing your services. I feel that I can make more money doing something else and boom, not paying you. Now, what is that BMW M8 and that big fancy house and that high sexual market value intimate companion? Now what are they? You're going to lose them, right? They're not yours. They never were. How do you feel? Why? Why did this have to happen? And that's a terrible question, but we're going to go into it, right? Well, the person depended on the boss, didn't they? They depended on the company, didn't they? They took their source of achievement and accomplishment in the world and kind of shut it off and just kind of like did a job for somebody else. Do you know why there's very few good employees? Because they don't care. They're killing time. It's not their time anymore. It's not their life anymore. It's the boss's time. So they waste it. And they do this their whole lives. So imagine Leonardo da Vinci, who loves to draw things, who's just out there in nature sketching everything that, is flashing in front of his eyes, every flower, every insect, every curtain, every drape, every shadow. And he is just, going deep. He doesn't want this big picture, this giant landscape. No. He wants this highly detailed, smaller picture of this incredibly lifelike, with the shadow, with the light, with the colors, with the reflections, with every little detail. That's what he wants. And that's what he goes after. And after many, many years of apprenticeship, that's what he achieves. But imagine if his father had said to him, what are you doing with all this paper, kid? This paper is expensive. Stop. You can't have any more paper. You're wasting it. It's for official documents. This drawing is stupid. You should study to be a blacksmith because that's really pretty much all you're qualified to be because you're a bastard. So you can't go to school. You can't be a lawyer. You can't be a doctor. You can't be a politician. Okay? But you can be a tradesperson. And what if Leonardo had said, okay, Dad, you're right. I won't go out drawing anymore. I'll go and learn to be a blacksmith. We certainly wouldn't have the Mona Lisa, would we? We certainly wouldn't have the idea of flight, would we? We certainly wouldn't have all of the human anatomy that he gave us, would we? We certainly wouldn't have the idea of the helicopter. Now, maybe somebody else would have come up with this stuff, right? Who else would have come up with this? Who else but Leonardo da Vinci could have done what Leonardo da Vinci did? What's your gift? What do you have? And the sad thing about this is that I know that a lot of people hearing this right now have just said to themselves, I got nothing. I'm just one of the herd. I'm just one of the group, and I just want to get by. And that is why we only have one Leonardo da Vinci, one Elon Musk. We all have the tool, the human brain, to pull this off. But we turn away. We turn away from ourselves. Our society, our culture tears us away. You know, I've got a mean streak within me. I think I inherited it from my mother. She was like an orphan in the South, right? Yes, this is after the Civil War, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not that old. But yeah, there's some bitterness and some meanness and some vindictiveness. It's not my main quality, but it can come up every once in a while, So if I were an evil mastermind, I couldn't design a better system than this. I couldn't design a more soul-crushing, individual-destroying, future-destroying system than this. I mean, it's impressive. It really is. Like I said, 6 billion people, 5 billion of them well-fed, reasonably well-fed, and one Elon Musk, one Leonardo da Vinci, one Albert Einstein. When we were all supposed to be able to do this in our own sphere, like my nephew who collected the cups, right? Becoming, the world's foremost cup authority. You see what I mean? So that's what's at stake. Your life is at stake. Can you go and get a job and do what the boss tells you to do and, save up that money and build your own way? Yeah, you sure can. That's exactly what you should do. So Benjamin Franklin, read his autobiography. Read his writings. He's a brilliant man. He's a printer. You know what I mean? He goes into the printing business because his older brother is running a printing business, and he wants to write for the paper, but his brother, who's running the paper, says, no, we need higher quality, more important stuff than what you can produce. But he's got access to paper. He's got access to books. He's got access, to the important articles of the day that are being written. So it's a great learning place for him. And he wants to write. So he invents the character, Silence Dogood, right? This is a woman who's just giving her homespun advice on all sorts of, political and social issues. And she writes these into the paper. And they're so good that the brother, who would not let Benjamin produce, write anything, prints the articles, and they become really, really popular. And after some time, Benjamin, he just can't control himself. He can't restrain himself. And he tells his brother, well, you know who's really writing the articles by Silence Dogood? That's me. And you're publishing my articles. And, they're your best articles. And, he thought that the brother would be happy. But of course, the brother isn't. The brother is very angry that he was lied to and misled. So Benjamin decides to go his own way. You'll be surprised how often that phrase is going to be popping up here in the future. And he goes and he gets a job with another printer. in the area. And he's not real crazy about the whole situation. But he gets approached by the governor of the area. And the governor of the area says to him, listen, why don't you start up your own printing business? You'll be great at it. And I'll finance it. I've got people who will finance it. And why don't you go to England and pick out the newest and best printing, equipment? And Franklin is like, yeah, this is great. This is exactly what I wanted. Thank you so much, Mr. Governor. But the money isn't coming. Okay? There's no money. So he writes to the governor and he says, what's up? And the governor writes back and says, yeah, there's no money right now, but there will be letters of credit waiting for you over there in England. So if you can book your own passage and get over there, letters of credit will be there for you to, survey and buy the equipment. So he says, okay, great. And he doesn't tell his existing boss that he's leaving. He just leaves. And he goes to England. And of course, he gets to England, and there are no letters of credit waiting. And he comes across a businessman there in England from America, and the businessman explains, oh yeah, that governor, he's a bullshitter. He just tells people what they want to hear. He just makes stuff up. He can't do anything. Benjamin is, of course, a little upset about this, right? This is a long story. I'm getting to the point, I promise. But he's okay because this is an industrious, hardworking person who's going their own way. So he gets a job, in printing places, and he works his way up and everything like that. And eventually he comes back here to America. And guess who he meets up with? He meets up with his boss. His boss, that's right. The one that he just, kind of walked out on, right? But he says, I'm sorry, I had this opportunity and it was a great opportunity. And the boss says to him, yeah, no problem. Water under the bridge. I've got a new business, a new printing business. Why don't you come in and you could be in charge of it and you can train my existing 4 or 5 employees? And, it'd be a great job. And Benjamin, again, being the naive young man he is, says, wow, yeah, that'll be great. That'll be perfect. So he goes to do that. And he's working in this new printing place with his old boss. The old boss is not really around. And he's training up the other people. And he's thinking to himself, why is my boss doing this for me? And he realizes that the boss is not doing this for him, that the boss is going to have him train the 4 or 5 new employees, and then the boss is going to fire him and leave him in the lurch, just largely like he left the boss in the lurch earlier. That's what the boss is doing. That's what's in his heart. That's what his plans really are. So Franklin goes to work and he doesn't train up all of the employees. He trains up one of them to be his assistant. And while he's there in the printing business, he makes connections. He makes other business connections. He starts finding the clients and the people, and how it runs and how it really works. And right before the boss is ready to fire him, Benjamin Franklin quits, takes the assistant with him who he has trained up, and takes all of the business connections and set up, situations that he has developed while working for the boss. That is what you are supposed to do when you are working for somebody, okay? They're not helping you. They're not advancing your career. They don't want you to have a good life. As a matter of fact, it's really important that they keep you humble and meek and submissive and outside of the loop, because if you become too powerful, they will lose you. You will go your own way. Going your own way is the purpose of your life. Finding your own way is the purpose of your life. To the degree that you can be true to yourself, confront your fears, overcome your fears, make progress in face of your fears, is the degree to which you will feel successful, powerful, and you will have power. That is power. Most everything is will to power. You know what I mean? People say, oh, I care about this. I care about that. I want this for the world. I want that for the world. No, they don't. They just want to have some power. And they think that, by pretending that, they care about global warming, that they will achieve, this powerful position within the social group. Will to power. Now, modern people, as eternal children, because we are consumers within a society and we've idealized the whole thing of childhood. Sorry. Okay. Back to the other story, right? I have to switch back and forth. Yeah, so I'm in a nice place now. I've got a room. I'm hoping that the audio is better. What's going on in the chat section here? We've got Jay Donovan, 2023, Jerry. He says, indeed, T800 resources, most valuable assets. No disrespect. I believe the other modern MGTOW channels should be bringing women around the philosophy. Well, that's a good point, okay, because see, the women are being used against the men, right? The women are tools, but they're playing along. It's an appeal to their nature to be taken care of, right? Like you ask a little boy what he wants to be when he grows up, he'll tell you he wants to be a fireman, he wants to be a doctor, he wants to be an astronaut, he wants to be an explorer. So he wants to do these things that, make him like a hero in the eyes of the group. You ask the little girl what she wants to be when she grows up, and she wants to be a princess. She wants people to take care of her and to love her. Our modern technological society is designed to take care of women and to make them feel like princesses. She's just as good as LeBron James. I mean, if you put any woman on the basketball court with LeBron James, she can do anything he can do, right? What the hell is someone like Donald Trump or Elon Musk? He's just got money. Any woman could do that, right? And of course, it's not true, right? Like, 99.9% of all the men can't do that. Only LeBron James can do that and a few others, right? Leonardo da Vinci, Elon Musk, right? Not all of us, but it could be. It could be. But the women believe that they could. It's amazing, isn't it? Hey, Captain Huffy, how's it going? Thanks for stopping by, bro. I appreciate your support. I appreciate everybody's support. Yeah, please like, share, comment, subscribe, donate, especially donate. I've got no financial model going on here. I've got no monetization going on here. And, we just can't get by in the world without that. So the idea that a man has to kiss ass and, bow his head. And when the boss says jump, he says how high. How can that man get together with a woman and build a family? How? Because the boss is above him. I mean, really, the boss is above him. Not just like, oh, he's in charge of the company and I got to do what he says for the time that I'm here. No, like you were supposed to be a boss, not a worker. I'll tell you something else, okay? Our economic system is not made for workers. It's made for owners, okay? It's made for the owners. And the reason why it's made for the owners is because it's not made for the workers. The workers are the tax base. The poorer people pay more taxes. The poorer people spend the greater percentage of their income on sustenance. There's nothing progressive. There's nothing compassionate. Those are those are those are ideals that a dependent child had to come up with so that they could submerge their own personality, their own individuality to get by. I'm saying reawaken the spark, the fundamental nature, the soul within you, the growing thing within you. Let's say that you're a guitar player, okay, and you want to be successful. And it turns out that if you play the guitar, if you try to play the guitar like Jimmy Page or Jimi Hendrix, that people will really like your stuff. Of course, it's not really your stuff, is it? It's you imitating Jimmy Page or Jimi Hendrix. But you can make some money at it and you can get some success with it. And so that's what you do. And maybe once or twice a year, you go back through the catalog of the artists that you're copying and you try to find some other new thing, new style to bring to your playing. And you have a moderately successful career playing other people's songs, but you never play your own songs. Which would be better, to be moderately successful imitating other people, or to be not successful at all, but being true to yourself and your vision and the music that you want to make? There is no path to mastery. There is no path to success and power in life unless you are true to yourself. You can get by, you can do what you got to do to get by, but that's not your future. The boss is going to fire you. He's never going to let you get to a certain level. He'll never let you get to the level above him. Why would he do that? He won't do that. That would be foolish. That would be for him to betray his own will to power, his own agenda in life. He's not going to do that. But you're going to do that. I'm going to do that. 99.9% of the consumers are going to do just that because they want the boss to take care of them. So you get a whole good life of the boss taking care of you, and you never overstepping your bounds. And you will never be another Leonardo da Vinci or another Elon Musk or another Joe Smith. You will never be that because you were never true to that. And our modern society is demanding that you give it up. That's the message. Okay, it really is. I was like, what is all this? Give it up. No, you're not you. You're just another. That's the message. It's soul crushing. It destroys people. It takes the meaning and the purpose out of their lives, and they drag themselves day through misery and fear. Okay? Stop trying to please the other people. Stop betraying the voice within you. Reawaken the voice within you. Find that seed that you were given by creation and nurture it. Give it a little water. Give it a little care. Clear the weeds out. You're not going to get a reward from the boss. As a matter of fact, as you do this, people are going to be like, you're crazy. What are you collecting cups for? What are you making this silly, crazy music for? You should play the Beatles. You should do cover songs of Led Zeppelin. That's what they'll say to you. And you will probably not meet with much success at all. And you'll probably want to give up 100 times. But eventually, you will produce. And it won't be filled with fear. And it won't be somebody else's message. It'll be your unique message that only you could have offered to the world. But you're going to throw it away. You're not going to write that song. You're not going to paint that picture. You're not going to make that video. You're not going to write that book. You're not going to build that building. You're not going to fix that old car up. You're going to do what the boss told you. And you're going to get paid. And you're going to get by to the next day. And a human life is going to be wasted. And there will be no more Leonardo da Vinci's. And there will be no more Elon Musk's. No, they'll just be consumers who are looking for the next Harry Potter movie and who get their politics from the yellow pages, slander, gossip, media personalities that lie for popularity. Yeah. Maybe someday I can be like number one on hashtag MGTOW, right? Why not? Howard Dare, MGTOW videos. You search hashtag MGTOW, you should find Howard Dare. But you don't. You know who you find? You find Just Pearly Things. And I've got no problem with, the girl. That's, good for her, good for, her success and everything like that. No problem. But it's not MGTOW. It doesn't have a damn thing in the world to do with MGTOW. It's barely even red pill. You know what I mean? It's wokeism disguised as red pill. And that's your most successful hashtag MGTOW. So what's up with that, MGTOW? Gee, I wonder why the system would promote somebody who knows nothing about men as the number one spokesperson to men. Maybe she's pretty. I'm not saying nothing here. I'm sure to some she is. It's controlled opposition. You're going to find the stupidest voice we can possibly find, and we're going to promote that. Do you understand? So if the enemy comes up with ideas, philosophy that opposes you, that could shut you down because you're, a corrupt governmental system that's just wanting to make money and hold on to power. So the message is, give it up. Betray your true self. Deny your true self. And if you don't, you're going to get punished. And I know you're afraid. How can you not be afraid? You're going to lose your car. You're going to lose your house. You're going to lose your job. You're going to lose your food. You're going to lose your friends. You're going to lose your group. You're going to lose your support. Good morning, boss. You're going to lose it all. You're going to be a bum on the street that they're going to put in jail, that they would just as soon kill. But at least you'd be your own man. At least you'd have the chance of taking the gift that was uniquely given to you throughout all of time and taking care of it and blossoming it and flowering it and sharing it with the world. That's all. That's all they want. I don't want you playing Jimmy Page's music. I don't want you making a copy of Leonardo da Vinci's paintings. Don't need you to go and do what Elon Musk is doing. Needed you to be you. Not just for your sake, but for my sake too. And this is why we enshrine the individual. This is why, ideally, right? So we have these ideals, we have these principles, virtuous, noble, honorable ethics. We have them, but they're idealized versions. They're in our head. The world itself, it's just events happening. It's just reality. Like there's a big storm over the United States right now. And you got to know that the people are looking at that and saying things like, God is angry. That's why it's so gloomy. But, and what do I know? Like Howard Dare doesn't know, but it's like, no, it's just a storm. There's the story of the soldier during Vietnam, I think it is. And he hears that, and he's, it's horrible. He's filled with fear. He doesn't want to die. He's watching, all of this take place around him, the addiction, and, it's bad. And he's looking for a little peace. And he hears that there's this sergeant who's a Zen master and that he's really got a handle on this whole war situation. So he comes to this sergeant and he says, I'm having some hard times, struggling. And I understand that, you've got the mindset and the philosophy, of Zen, and I would like to learn that. And, the sergeant says, okay, I understand that. I can believe that. So he says to him, you see those 3 trees that are out there in that field? What does that represent to you? Right? And the soldier looks at the 3 trees and he thinks, well, I suppose that it represents a group, that nobody is ever alone. Yeah, the Zen master just looks at him and says, no, I can't teach you, come on, maybe come back later. So he comes back later, and he says, I've decided that the 3 trees represent the 3 principal values, the body, spirit, and soul of a person, and that, that it becomes manifest in the universe. And the Zen master says, no, I can't teach you anything. So the poor man is racking his brains out, trying to figure out what the 3 trees symbolize, right? Finally, of course, he's utterly pissed off and he's at his wit's end and he's angry. And, he comes across the sergeant and he looks at him and he says, the 3 trees don't mean a damn thing. They're just 3 trees sitting out there. And the Zen master says, okay, now I can start to teach you. See things as they are, not as you wish them to be. I idealize, and I think it's very decent and noble. I'm like Yoda, your feelings do you credit. They really do. But they're not real. The rest of the world doesn't necessarily see it that way. It's just 3 trees. Now, maybe you hear that and you think to yourself, well, you've just stolen all the magic and robbed, all of the wonder and miracle out of the universe, Howard. Because I liked to imagine that they were 3 wise men. But I haven't. I haven't stripped away the idealism and the virtue. I've enabled it. If you can see things as they are, now you can be effective. Now you can make a difference. Now you can make progress. Now you can confront your fears and you can overcome them and become stronger and build confidence and make your way in the world. right? See, this is where it's all heading, okay? The people have to go their own way. They cannot be part of the consumer society, of the technological society, of the identity politics, of the save the planet, of the stop global warming, of the save the whales. That is not their identity. Their identity was collecting cups, drawing leaves, singing songs, inventing their own music, making their way in the world, and that's going to be compromise, but bringing that unique spark that is them to the front. Now you're thinking, Howard, I can't do it. It's too much. You're crazy. No, 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 no. There's too much working against me. And there is. Oh, there is so much working against you and me. But we can turn all these negatives into positives. Okay? Check it out. I, Howard Dare, they shut down my channel, 75,000 subscribers, right? Boom, gone. Well, that's not fair. Wow, that's a big negative. Is it? Is it a negative? I don't see it as a negative. First of all, I see it as an opportunity to show my fellow MGTOW that it doesn't matter the success, the numbers. What matters is the spirit. You're going to fall down in life. Things are not going to go your way. You're going to lose the channel. But I know that you're strong enough to rebuild it. Do you know it? Do you know if you can do it? How about going to jail or going to war? That's pretty scary, isn't it? You think you could do it? You could do it. You can do whatever you need to do, but you got to stop fantasizing. You got to see it as it is. The women, you think she's your soulmate? You think she loves you? Hey, maybe she thinks that for a while, right? For now. But wait until the job, wait until the boss takes that job away. Wait until you lose that BMW M8. Wait until you lose that 5,000 square foot mansion. Wait until you lose that vacation home in Hawaii. How does she feel about you now? So you know this, right? Like MGTOW, you've had this realization. You felt the betrayal. You have felt, look, they lied to you. Okay? You tried to be the man that society wanted you to be. And now they're condemning you for it. So if your boss comes to you and says, listen, I need you to call up this client and pitch them this product at this time in this manner, and you say, yes, sir, boss, that's what I'll do, boss. Whatever you say. Can I have a raise, boss? And he says, maybe later. We'll see how you do. And then you take that job, that assignment, and you do your best. And you do okay. You don't do great because it's not your work. You're doing it for somebody else, so you don't really care. You don't really put your heart and soul into it, but you do it. And then the boss says, what did you do? You contacted that client? You pitched them that product in this manner? You're a piece of shit. You're fired. Not only are you fired, I'm going to sue you. I'm going to put you in jail. I'm going to destroy your reputation. And then you look at the boss and you say, but boss, this is what you told me to do. And the boss just kind of looks at you and smiles and shrugs. That's what happened to you. That's what happened to the men of Western civilization. We did as we were told. And it will destroy us. And physically too. Yeah, that's right. You can actually physically die, but spiritually, emotionally, psychologically, socially. I mean, what do you think is going on, right? Like, why are the men unhappy? Why are the young men unhappy? Because they know that the life that they were promised, it's not going to happen. As a matter of fact, they're going to be demonized for it. How's that? How's that for a kick in the head? You did what you were supposed to do. You walked the path that they told you to walk, and they're going to crucify you. And it's going to hurt, and it's going to take it's going to take your whole life. And unless you can see things as they are and go your own way and build your own way, death will be a release. It's like, finally. Who wants to play this dirty game of kissing a boss's ass so that you can survive to the next day? I tell the story all the time in my videos of, the gunfighter sitting on the train and the cattleman coming up and sitting next to him saying, you want to know how to get a horse to do whatever you want it to do? The gunfighter, just shrugs. And the man says, feed it just enough to get it by to the next day. Do you want to know how to get a man to do whatever you want him to do? Feed him just enough to get by to the next day or the next week or the next month. Am I missing something? I don't think I am. Now, as a child, you had no choice. You were a dependent. As a pregnant woman, you might have no choice. You need that help. As a sick person, you need that help. But you're a strong, mature, adult individual. I was going to say man, but, yeah, you're a man, but there's women out there too. Don't you think it's time to find your unique voice? Don't you think it's time to show other people the way, the path to having a decent life? Don't you think it's time to give that to yourself, to give it a try? It's worth a try. Okay? I'm not saying that you got to burn the ships, although it's not a bad idea. Burn the ships. That's right. Cortez lands. He knows that the continent is just filled with gold. Gold. And he knows that his men are just going to want to go home because it's so hard. And he burns the ships. There is no way to go home. Get rich or die trying. Get this done or die trying. And if you die trying this, it'll be okay. You'll forgive yourself. But if you die without trying this, there's the tragedy. There's the waste is thrown away. The song is in you. The book is in you. The video is in you. The building is in you. The joke is in you. It's not going to be easy to get it out, right? Like, it's not easy to become Leonardo da Vinci, to develop that level of skill in painting. And you understand, I'm not saying that you're supposed to become Leonardo da Vinci. I'm saying you're supposed to nurture and take care of your uniqueness, your individuality, and build it up and make it strong and discipline it. And then use it to make your way in the world. And this is the reward. This is a good life. This is You living your life, even if you're not making big money. This is your music. This is your painting. This is your building. This is your landscape. This is not the boss's. The boss doesn't care about you. The boss is going to give you just enough for you to get by till the next day so that you will do whatever he says. And this will lead to internal and eternal fear. That's it. Fear, cortisol, kissing ass, getting up every day, jumping through hoops, never building your own business, never creating your own work, never finding real pride. Hey, you can be proud of the work you do for a boss. I mean, that's totally possible, but it's not the same. It's just not the same. Yes, our individuality is being taken away, says Jay Donovan, 2023. It's true. Here's Joel. What does Joel say? He says the old saying, if you find a job you live, you will never, if you find a job you love, you will never work a day in your life. Exactly. I remember making my first MGTOW YouTube videos, and I wasn't making any money. I wasn't getting any views or anything like that. A little bit. Not the first month, but the second month, I made like, $20 or $30. But then the next month I made like another $30 or $40. So I finally had made enough that YouTube was willing to send me a check. And they sent me a check for $70. And it was for 2 months worth of work. Okay. Probably like, 20 or 30 videos. I was very proud of that $70. That was probably some of the best $70 I had ever made. So even if you only get $70 for the song that you wrote, that'll be the best $70 you've ever made, because that's the $70 that you made. And don't you understand that now, if you can do that, that the other people who are lost and who are going to lose their lives can look to you and can say, he did it. He's happy. He only made $70, but he's happy. He's collecting cups, but he's happy. He doesn't care about the boss. He doesn't care about kissing ass. He doesn't care about the high sexual market value of the woman. He could care less. He wants a woman that actually cares about him and likes him. And for as long as she'll be that person, that's a good woman. But as soon as she says, you're not making enough money, you're not kissing ass enough, you're not giving me enough, then she's worthless. She's an albatross. She's a liability. But if she's, the other thing, if she's like, wow, you made $70. Can you teach me how to make $70 doing the things that I love to do? And you're like, yeah, sure, honey. I can do that. It's not easy. Might take months. How about the reverse of that? How about you do what the boss tells you? You take the job that your parents told you to take, and you do really, you do okay in life. You're getting by day to day. You're always getting your paycheck. But it's killing you. It's crushing your soul. You're getting sick. The cortisol is through the roof. Every 6 months or so, something goes seriously wrong with you physically. But you do it. You drag yourself through it every day for 10 years, for 20 years, for 30 years. And then you collapse, and then you die. And your son or your brother or your friend or somebody who just knew you and looked up to you says, I want to be like him. I want to work for 30 years for people who don't appreciate me, who make a joke of me, whose asses I have to kiss and pretend that I like it just so that I can get by day to day. And it killed me. And now your son is saying, yeah, that's what I should do. That's what a real man does. Never wrote the song, never did the painting, never wrote the book, never made the video, never wrote the joke, never made the landscape, never built the building, never did the craft. No, just did what the boss told you, what culture and society told you to do so that you could be part of their group, so that they could use you and throw you away. And you never discover yourself. And you never teach others how to discover their uniqueness. So that's why MGTOW is important. Okay? All this bullshit that these people are talking about. Okay? Yes, even Jordan Peterson. Okay? All this anti-wokeism. It's anti-gynocentrism. It's anti-consumerism. It's anti-eternal children. It's teaching people to go their own way in life, to find their own way in life, and then to have a meaningful, rewarding, purposeful life. That's the goal, not making the money. You need some money. I need some money. Donate to the Howard Dare channel. Use my CashApp donation link. I don't need much to get by, guys. I really don't. Hey, what's going on? Masks are awesome. Everything is a mask. People are wearing masks all the time. What's this, though? Facts. No price can be levied on our pride. Organically honest, earned $70 is better than being a sellout. It's exactly my point, sir. I appreciate that. That's exactly the point I'm trying to make. And not only that, that when you do that, when you're true to yourself and you make, just a little bit, but it's your real work, now you are empowered. Now you can make that work a little better. Now you can make a little bit more money. And you can be true to yourself. And the people who look to you for leadership and for guidance, they can get it. Because you're happy, because you're living your purpose. You're being true to yourself. But if you're not doing that, how could anybody respect you? How could you respect yourself? Do not sell yourself out. Do not sell yourself short. This society, this culture is going to offer you this. This really is, Satan sitting next to Christ and saying, I can make you a king of the world. All of this that you see, it can all be yours. All you have to do is bow down to me. So that's all you got to do is bow down to the boss, to the political system, to the company, to the corporation, to the group think. So all you got to do is bow down. All you got to do is sell yourself out. All you got to do is keep quiet, go along. All you got to do is betray your own ideals and your own virtues, and we'll give you enough to get you by to the next day. And then, after many, many years, you can finally leave this nightmare. You can finally leave this suffering. And boy, won't we be glad? You know what I mean? It's like, 80 years of this? Holy smokes. No wonder why, the body is broken down. So is that what you want to do to yourself? Okay, this is the awareness that I'm just trying to share with you. My part of MGTOW is I want to give you insight to some of these psychological problems that we're dealing with, emotional problems, cultural problems that are creating, this damage, so that you can kind of see it and then you can kind of extricate yourself and get yourself out of it. To me, that's a very noble calling. You know what I mean? Like I get emails and messages from time to time. Somebody says, you've really made a big difference in my life. You guys know that I'm dealing with the state trying to crucify me, and yeah, I intentionally, made that a bit of messianic there. So, yeah, but I've been in jail, right? And I've been in these groups of people, groups of men and groups of people talking, like counseling and that sort of stuff. And I've been talking, and suddenly somebody in the group says, you know, you sound like this one guy that I know on YouTube. And he made a big difference in my life, you know? And you know what I say to them when they say that, right? I say to them, hello, MGTOW. This is Howard Dare. Thanks for stopping by. So today I want to talk about. So I get those messages. I get those emails. I get those encounters in real life, in places as crazy as jail and prison. And it's very rewarding for me. That's what I care about. So I'm going to leave it at that for now. I think that's plenty. I'm going to be able to come on here more often because, like I said, I'm indoors now. I'm not out on the street. However, I had to deal with certain aspects of the culture that nearly killed me. Here's a good one, though. Start a side hustle in your garage or basement and nurture it and grow it. It takes time. Yeah, developing the skills and the level of mastery that is required to really get good at something is, it takes time. It takes patience. But here's the thing. When you do it, you're not just teaching yourself the thing, okay? You're not just learning how to play the guitar. You're not just learning how to paint. You're not just learning how to put that building up. You're learning how to learn. So the discipline and the skill and the ability that you grow, you can do it with anything. So it's like, oh, I'm just studying painting, or I'm just studying chess, or I'm just studying music. No, you're not. You're studying the human mind. You're studying, your own discipline. You're taking the seed that nature has given you and you're growing it. And that's life. That other part of life, getting the money, getting by day to day, that's just something you have to do. That's not your purpose. So you start that side hustle, okay? And you better have a hustle, and you better hustle. And all those things that you think of as negatives, they're positives. I can say anything I want here now on YouTube, right? There's no advertisers. There's no community guideline strikes. They don't care. There's not enough people, right? They're not trying to advertise here. What do they care? And if they did, I could do it in a place where they didn't. What's important is the message. What's important is my ability, not their approval. As a matter of fact, if I go for their approval, I will betray myself. I will sell this whole thing short. And I believe that you guys could sense that in the blink of an eye. Well, I think that you could, that it would come through one way or the other. Okay. So whatever it is you think that is working against you, just turn it around. It's a positive. Nobody gets to tell me what to do. Nobody tells me what videos to make. Hey, why don't I put those beautiful thumbnails up, right? I mean, they're not hard. They're very easy to make, right? You just take your image of, your pretty woman, high resolution. You put maybe an opacity filter behind it so that you can fade it out. And then you put your text up on the screen. So you got your high contrast, right? Maybe you put some other elements in there to make it look like a cereal box. Why don't I do that? I could do that. I enjoy doing it because it's bullshit. I want the blank thumbnail. I want the Howard Dare banner. I want the Howard Dare avatar. Boom, that's it. I don't care about the other stuff. So that's what's going on. That's why I do what I do the way I do. So I'm going to be able to do these more often. I'm going to be able to bring you guys online now too. So that's going to work out well. I'm going to enjoy that. I think I'm going to be able to make some good progress and I think I'll be able to reach people with a positive message, right? What's this? We need more slut. Hey, I got nothing against sluts. You know what I mean? I like slut walks. Aha. No, wait, this is the better one. Use the system against itself. Learn everything you can on the job as they pay you, and then have an exit plan. That's exactly right. Okay. They're not paying you because they like you. They're not paying you because they're friendly. They're paying you because it's profitable and it's to their advantage. And when it's not, they're not going to pay you. And they don't care about all those other things that you think they care about. So while you are working there, prepare yourself to leave there. Okay? That's right. Take their resources, find their employees that are actually good, and train them up so that when you go your own way, you can bring them with you. And do it the day before they fire you, like Benjamin Franklin did. This is the way of a man working in that company. Okay. It's okay. I understand. You got to do what you got to do to get by. But you know that that's not really the best way. Going your own way, even though we live in a society and a culture which is trying to take that exact individuality away from you, understand what a threat that one individual is to the system. This is why the people who look to you, this is why you have to do what's right by yours unto yourself, okay? Because there's other people that are looking to you for leadership, okay? You can't drop the ball here. You can't drop the ball on your life. You can for a while, but you pick it back up and you get back out there. And all those things that you think of as negatives, oh, she hates my guts. Oh, the state is after me. Oh, I don't have a way to monetize my content. Bullshit. Bullshit. They're all positives. I can say what I want. I can do what I want. I don't have to put up bullshit retarded thumbnails to try to attract the attention of people who do not care anything about MGTOW. I don't have to sit here and act like I'm angry at a woman because she's beautiful and she won't sleep with me. Right? Or at least not for the right dollar amount. Will to power, And I could sit around and I could say, yeah, the system is corrupt. Yeah, they don't have good ethics. When the truth is, what I'm upset about is that she won't sleep with me. Now, that's not where I'm at, but that's probably where I was. I don't know where you're going, but I know where you've been because I've been there. And you may be going to the exact same place that I'm already at. And I sure hope you don't have to. But in a way, you do have to. This is the only way that you will wake up. This is the only way that I will wake up. I'm looking at 2 death sentences. Really, 2 death sentences. So I don't have much time. All right. So, I've got these important things to say. You need to see the world as it is. Okay. It doesn't lose its magic. It doesn't lose its wonder. It doesn't lose its fascination. It actually opens these things up to you. The reason why you can't see the world the way it is because as a dependent, a child, you had to idealize and ennoble your parents, your teachers, your bosses, your presidents, your governors, okay? But they're all just people. They're not the idealized thing that you think that they are. And I admire that you have this virtue, this nobility, this aspiration for it. It's an admirable thing. But I need you to see the trees. Okay? I need you to see that it's just 3 trees out there in the middle of a battlefield. And now we can work. Now we can do the thing that needs to get done and build the things that need to get built. Okay? So please like, share, comment, subscribe, donate, especially donate. Find the Cash App, the Howard Dare Cash App donation link, please, so that I can continue, so that I can continue to do what I'm going to continue one way or the other. Okay. I'll keep going nonstop. But I'd like to be able to keep going longer. Yeah. I mean, that's the truth of it, right? We'll fight until we're dead. We'll fight to the very end. And hopefully, that won't be too soon. Hopefully we'll have a little bit of time, but we might not. So let's not waste it. And don't you waste your time, and don't you waste your life, because your culture and your society wants you to do that, because they want to be children their whole lives and they want to be taken care of their whole lives. All right. But for you, that would be throwing a life away. And for you, that would be not demonstrating any leadership that I know you have in you. So, I'm planting seeds here, right? Not going to make a lot of money or nothing like that. Not going to get real popular on YouTube like Just Pearly Things. But I am going to plant a few seeds. And those people, some of them are going to take that and they're going to move it forward. And everybody is going to need MGTOW in this society. And they just don't recognize it now, and they just don't have the balls to actually say it, right? I assure you, within a couple of years, Jordan Peterson will be saying, I'm MGTOW. I assure you, these red pill channels in a couple of years will be like, yeah, red pill, that was fucking bullshit. We needed a little something stronger than that. We needed MGTOW. And this tree will have already grown. And you will be growing. So that's what I'm aiming for. Get it? Okay. So like, share, comment, subscribe, donate, and join me again, Howard Dare, as I plan to have more content for you. I'll try to come on here tomorrow again at around 3 o'clock. Thank you, MGTOW.